So one of the biggest stories on the internet over the last couple of weeks has been the coming together of pop icon Taylor Swift and Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Now when this story first broke, I really did question what was really the big deal. White man dates white woman, it's really a story that's been going on for thousands of years. But then as I started to think about it a little bit more, I did kind of get some understanding. Because it's like you're bringing together two very passionate, borderline insane groups of people. On one hand, you have the Taylor Swift fans who drive and fly thousands of miles to see her perform while they throw up all over themselves in excitement. I mean, you got middle-aged women passing out in the crowd. And on the other hand, you have an equally insane group of people, which is NFL fans. Like, you guys have to admit that there is nothing healthy about your emotional state hanging on the thread that is a bunch of men going out in tights and tackling each other for several months out of the year.
No!
And listen, I'm no different than you guys. If anything, I might be one of the most mentally unhealthy out there because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. And I'm also a 27-year-old fan, meaning I never saw the team win. As a matter of fact, the very year I was born onto this earth was the last time they would ever see any real success. And yes, guys, I know I'm rocking the Mahomes jersey today, but I really just had to get this strictly off the strength of him beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year. And I wasn't gonna cover this whole Taylor Swift Travis Kelce fiasco, but now I feel like the drama has gone a little bit deeper. I'm talking about the NFL possibly rigging games to keep this storyline going, and also some very bitter ex-girlfriends coming out the woodwork 7 years later. But before we jump into all of that, I did want to give you guys a little background information in this whole situation. As some of you guys may know, Travis and his brother Jason have this podcast called New Heights. It's actually really good, and around 2 months back was when Travis first announced that he was going to be shooting his shot with Taylor Swift after he went to one of her concerts.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, I know you went to the Taylor Swift concert. How was it?
Yeah, well, I was disappointed that she doesn't talk before or after her shows because she has to save her voice for the 44 songs that she sings. So I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her.
You made her a bracelet?
Yeah. If you're up on Taylor Swift concerts, there are friendship bracelets, and I received a bunch of them being there, but I wanted to give Taylor Swift one with my number on it. Not right now.
Your number's in 87 or your phone number?
You know which one.
So that was kind of him declaring and professing his love for Taylor Swift. A lot of people felt like it was going to be kind of like Carlton in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But it turns out he was much more like Steph Curry, at least when it's not clutch time in the playoffs. And so just last week he released this statement towards Taylor Swift saying, "I've seen you rock the stage in Arrowhead, which is where the Chiefs play football, and you might have to come see me rock the stage at Arrowhead." So not the most articulate thing, but it clearly ended up working, as a mere 3 days later, she would be up there in the skybox. And not only was she up there cheering him on, she was up there in the family section. You know, Jackson Mahomes was somewhere around wearing his ankle monitor trying to get some TikTok clout.
She is there. Whatever that means, she will see what we hope is a fantastic contest.
So the NFL was obviously loving this. They were eating it up from the very first second. I mean, anything they can do to expand their fan base, the NFL is just going to jizz their pants over. And the Chiefs are so good at this point that they were just toying around with the Chicago Bears a couple of weeks back. And you know that boy Patrick Mahomes is just pretty much out here completing side quests at this point. And so he had to get the ball to Kelce just off the strength.
Play of the drive, Mahomes lofting end zone, there it is, a touchdown to Kelce.
So he scores, Taylor Swift's going crazy, she did a chest bump, which is an insane celebration. She's saying, let's go, let's go. His mom looks a little bit like, hey, that's not the classiest thing to say. And so this game was like 2 weeks ago, and now if you've watched every Chiefs game since then, and she was at the last one versus the Jets, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, it's like every single time they score, whether it's Travis Kelce or not, the camera like flashes up to her in the box like if she's the owner. I mean, it's getting to ridiculous levels here. More of Patrick Mahomes just disgracing the Chicago Bears, waving hi to allegedly Taylor Swift up there in the booth. They even talked to him about the pressure from these Swifties in the post-game interview.
Forget the pressure from Kansas City Chiefs fans. Do you realize how much pressure there was on you today from the Swifties to get Travis Kelce a touchdown with Taylor in the house today?
I think he wanted to get in the end zone just as much as all the Swifties wanted him to.
And I'm sure this whole media parade was all kind of fun at first, but I could definitely see some of the players slowly like getting pissed off about it. Like, if I just score a touchdown, I don't want it flashing up to Taylor Swift. I want them to see my little dance. And I thought this was really interesting, okay? So Walter Payton's son, who he was a legendary running back in the NFL if you didn't know, he's some sort of reporter, and he was the one who recorded this video of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Hey, how you doing?
I mean, this guy sounds like he was laughing like a little giddy schoolgirl. And it just goes to show that we are completely within this social media era where the seed of an all-time great running back, you know, he should have these amazing genetics, is out here laughing like he's around the lunch table recording the popular kids. And that's just getting ridiculous, okay? After the game, they rode off in a convertible, like something out of Grease. I mean, even if this is all fake, which I don't know how genuine this relationship is, you have to acknowledge that this is just a PR masterpiece. Especially for Travis Kelce, his social presence has just absolutely skyrocketed. I mean, within a 24-hour period after that first game, he gained over 300,000 social media followers, which I'm sure that number is now within the millions. And he is now a top 5 selling jersey in the entire NFL. And so here's where things get a little more spicy, as you had one of his ex-girlfriends come completely out of the woodwork to basically say Travis is a bad guy, he's a narcissist, a whole 7 years after their situationship was over. Like, if this is not sad and desperate, I don't really know what is.
She's the beauty who says she was betrayed by Taylor Swift's new boyfriend, Travis Kelce.
Like the saying goes, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Maya Benberry dated the Kansas City Chiefs tight end in 2016.
Certain qualities don't change in men. I feel like Travis is a narcissist, so most narcissists don't change.
And I like how she's the one out here calling him a narcissist when she's clearly looking for her 15 seconds of fame talking about something that happened 7 years ago.
Their romance started when she was a contestant on the e-dating reality show,
Crazy Hair.
Catching Kelce. Maya beat out 50 other women vying for Travis's heart. She says they dated for 8 months before it all came crashing to an end.
You thought you were going to marry him?
I did.
Were you in love with him?
I was.
Did he cheat on you?
Yes.
The 31-year-old life coach says she learned about his indiscretions on social media.
You see how quick she was with that answer?
Did he cheat on you?
Yes.
I mean, she's still very mad 7 years later. And can we also acknowledge that these people who meet on these dating shows like The Bachelor, Flavor of Love, I'm pretty sure Pauly D had one. Like, to me, that's all really more entertainment than actually looking for love. And from the start, just in her even going on a show like that, she was already kind of like a clout chaser to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure after one of these bachelors, the guy came out and said that he was gay. Like, how are you surrounded by like 50 to 100 beautiful women, and the whole time you're thinking about the cameraman?
How do you feel about Taylor Swift?
I don't know Taylor Swift, but I'm a fan of her music. You know, I don't feel any way about her dating Travis. It's cute. I mean, I had him first, so.
The narrative is you're a bitter ex-girl.
That sentence right there just shows what she's all about.
Don't feel any way about her dating Travis. It's cute. I mean, I had him first, so.
I had him first. The other thing is, I'm pretty sure this guy has said several times he did not even want to go on that show, but it was during his rookie season, and once the numbers got so high and he felt like, you know, he had blown all his money, he really had no other choice but to partake.
The narrative is you're a bitter ex-girlfriend who's out for her 15 minutes of fame.
It's facts.
How do you feel about that?
I'm offended because 5 years ago when I said the allegations about cheating and when I talked about that we were together for 8 months, his camp and team and even himself, he didn't say anything about it.
I mean, why would he come out and say anything about this? Either way, now it's time for the next scandal in this video involving the NFL and them wanting to continue this Taylor Swift's narrative that they're just eating up. They're making so much money from this. So the Chiefs played the Jets last week on Sunday night. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers has been out. That was supposed to be like the big story, so they gave the Jets all these primetime games. And so they need something to keep the people watching or keep, you know, the Swifties tuning in. So Taylor Swift shows back up. There she is once again with his mom. The NFL once again is eating him up. I'm sure they just have a Taylor cam, several of them at this point. And this is where the drama starts to ensue. So the game was a lot closer than a lot of people thought it was going to be. Zach Wilson played out of his mind. Patrick Mahomes just played so-so. He actually played pretty bad by his standards. And this is the first big non-call within the fourth quarter. The Jets were looking to get the ball back. I think it was like a 3rd and 20 or something like that. And they don't end up calling this hold, and Patrick Mahomes breaks off this huge run. You know, the Chiefs getting special treatment, it's really like nothing new. They've been kind of the golden child for quite some time.
Is this not holding? This is the biggest fucking hold I've ever seen in my life. Not called. Watch this dude. This is holding. What is
Hey, he's holding the shit out of him.
What is that?
Happens all the time, happens every game, but you hate to see it happen during a crucial moment like that. And if that wasn't bad enough, here was the real backbreaker. I believe at this point Patrick Mahomes had already thrown 2 pretty bad interceptions, and the Jets were looking to pick him off for a 3rd time. They were going to have, like, I don't know, 4 minutes left in the game to try and mount a game-winning drive down by 3 points. And they had actually picked the ball off once again, and this is when things once again go awry for the Jets and their poor fans.
We have to play the refs and the team every week. Give me a break.
Yeah, so kind of a phantom holding call at a very crucial part of the game, okay? Right there, I mean, that's just some contact that happens a lot when these receivers are running these routes. And the other thing is, it was like a terribly thrown pass. Also, I have to imagine it was within the first couple of yards of the routes. It's kind of just one of those situations where I wish the refs would just let them play on. Even if this happened to my team and you lose like that, sometimes you just got to accept it, okay? It's kind of just some ticky-tacky bullshit to save the Chiefs once again. Even Tyreek Hill weighed in on this.
The Chiefs and Jets, that last penalty called on Sauce Gardner was a 50-50. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a rough one. It was a rough one.
It was bullshit.
Now I saw the interview that Pat did. He was like, Sauce was grabbing him at 15 yards. Then I seen what Sauce said. I only grabbed him at 7. The receiver ran into me. It was a 50-50. When the game on the line, you gotta let the players play. It's a good game. It's a good game.
And the NFL is constantly doing this. They're constantly robbing fans of, like, amazing moments. They're constantly robbing fans of potential big-time drives and putting the game into their own hands. And you have to think a lot of this has to do a lot more with Vegas and betting than anything else. But it just kills you to see. Like, I didn't have a dog in the fight of this game, but I would have loved to see the Jets try and mount a comeback and, you know, Zach Wilson try and do his thing.
The Chiefs, they got saved like that last year, for real, though. And the Eagles in the Super Bowl, for real, though. If we been for real, then they come back and get saved in the Jets game. Man, maybe because Taylor Swift was in the building. I don't know what's going on, but whatever Kel's doing, Kel, I know you're helping out the NFL, but hey, hey.
I mean, that's the face of a man that just can't say too much. And I will admit, even as a Cowboys fan, when they called that holding call in the end zone to end the game, you know, of a legendary Super Bowl, I mean, I was happy because I didn't want to see the Eagles win, but I also could acknowledge that it was kind of bullshit. Like, it was one of those things where I wouldn't have mind seeing what Jalen Hurts could do. The dude was going off. And it also didn't help that the NFL was doing this type of bullshit on their Instagram after the game. They changed their bio to the Chiefs are 2-0 as Swifties. Like, at this point, it's honestly just making everyone cringe. They also changed their Twitter banner to reaction pictures of Taylor Swift. And to me, that's just really not a good look. Like, I love football, but I do gotta say, the way the refs call the game is one of the things that really, like, takes joy out of it for me. That's why, for those of y'all that haven't tried baseball, I know a lot of people think it's boring, but it is pretty much the only sport where the umpires have very little impact on the game. Yes, there are still some bad calls, some bad balls, some bad strikes, but they can't so blatantly impact huge plays, and it's kind of just gonna play out how it was more or less supposed to. I mean, you know it's getting bad when even Travis had to jump in to say all the Taylor Swift coverage and the Taylor Swift mania has grown to be a little bit too much. And Jason's obviously being the honest one here. He knows that the NFL is really dick riding. And it's kind of getting to the point where most of, like, the regular fans are probably just over the entire situation. And when there's speculation that your team is getting favorable calls to, like, keep this storyline going, obviously the integrity of the whole league is, like, at risk, which it's pretty much been for a very long time now either way.
I just think the NFL is not used to celebrities coming to the games. The NFL is like, oh, look at all these A-list celebrities in the game. Keep showing them, show them. Dude, listen.
I mean, I've never seen anyone else get this treatment besides Taylor Swift. Like, I know he's trying to be a good brother, but just say what's really on your mind, guys. Don't pussyfoot around it.
You show them once, let them know they're there. Maybe after a touchdown, you get a little clip, but you can't be overboard with it. Yeah. People are there to watch the game, right?
Either way, I want to know what you guys think about this entire situation down below. What do you think about the Bitter X? What do you think about the NFL potentially rigging these games? Yes, it is happening. Either way, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. As you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other BS out here needs to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!